Do you ever have these times when you're trying to build your business where it all just feels like a lot? The platforms, the social media, the emails, the content, the website pages, trying to be everywhere and do everything all at once. It's all just a lot, am I right? If you would all resonate with this, then hey, welcome to the club. You're not alone, this is normal, and it's okay. Because guess what? It is a lot. There's a lot to do. A lot going on, more and more so every day. In this episode, I'm going to share with you what you can do when it all just feels like a lot and why feeling this way is actually a good thing, especially for your business. So stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Shawn Mynar, and this is Unstuck Entrepreneur. I'm a former nutritionist who turned a struggling, stressful nutrition practice into a thriving, freedom-filled online business where I work from home in my sweatpants while reaching and helping thousands of people all at the same time. Now I'm obsessed with showing other heart-centered coaches, practitioners, and solopreneurs how to build a business and life they love. Consider this podcast your safe space to learn both the inner work and practical strategies required to build the impactful, profitable business of your dreams. No hustle, grind, or long hours required. That's right, hustle culture, not welcome here. Let's get into today's session. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the Unstuck Entrepreneur podcast. Thank you so much for being here. So much gratitude to all of you for your support of this show. It means so much. Today, I'm going to do my best to keep this episode short and sweet. We just came off this 4-part series all about launching. It was jam-packed full of info, and I think all of those episodes were pretty darn long. So you may still be going through those. Maybe my voice just needs a break. Who knows? But we're going to do our best here to keep the message I have for you short, sweet, and hopefully very resonant. Hopefully something that you can really take with you, not just for today or this week, but remind yourself of in the future when this comes up for you again, because it's probably going to. Today, we are talking about this whole feeling of things just being a lot. And this is a business podcast, so I'm going to gear it specifically towards things that you do in your business or feel like you need to be doing in your business. But, it's also just everything is a lot. Like life is a lot. The world is a lot. Just so much going on for so many of us. And I think that compounds, and then we try to work on our business, and then all of that feels like a lot, and it just is overload. So here's where this idea to talk about this here originally came up, and I will tell you it's because I was in that place not too long ago, because I am part of a business mastermind. A few weeks ago, we had this big virtual retreat, and the kind of theme for this retreat was expanding your audience. So over the course of 2 days, 2 jam-packed days, we had presenters around podcasting and growing your podcast, YouTube, starting and growing a YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook ads, Google ads. I'm missing some. There were so many things. So basically, one person came and talked about, an expert came and talked about all the different places and platforms that we could be using to expand our audience over the course of 2 days. Sounds great, right? And it was amazing, such a great experience, and got a ton of really great ideas. And the whole time, the message was to find a few things that work for you and leave the rest. It's going to be tempting to feel like you need to do all of this, but don't. And, feel free to leave what doesn't really resonate with you. That was the theme and the message that our leader, quote unquote, kept sharing with us. But still, the whole time we were all like, oh, this is so great. I have so many good ideas. And also, oh gosh, there's so much to do. And keep in mind that the people in this mastermind group are already people who have platforms and audiences and strategies and businesses and a lot going on already, and they're already doing so much, but yet we all still felt like we'd barely scratched the surface after this very intense 2 days of learning and hearing from these experts. And so then we're meeting a few days later after this retreat and talking about it. And one of the gals says something like, I'm trying to incorporate all of this and trying to do all this and trying to show up on TikTok and do more on Instagram and do this with my YouTube channel and show up here and there and change my messaging. And I really want to get this new offer out, but also it's summer and my kids are home and we're going camping and it all just feels like a lot. And I don't think she meant it this way at all, but it came across in that moment like camping with her family was adding to her stress, like adding to her to-do list, adding to that feeling of it all being a lot. And I know this is the case for pretty much all of us and all of the people in this mastermind, is that the point of having our own businesses is so that we can enjoy things like camping with our family, enjoy summer, be totally present when you're out doing things in your life and not business stuff. And at that point, I think that person was not there. Like the business had taken over and all of the to-dos of the business had taken over. And now it felt like the fun things in life were also becoming a chore, will becoming a thing that has to happen. And that's kind of the opposite of how we want it to go, right? And so then myself also was having that moment after that retreat where I felt like there was so much on my shoulders. I spent several days after that digging myself out of this "it all feels like a lot" hole that I think a lot of us can get into. This is definitely not the first time I've been there. I think it all kind of ebbs and flows, which we'll talk about in a second. That's part of it, but I've been here before. I know how to get myself out of it at this point. But when you're in that space where you're hearing about and you're learning about and you're excited about all of these options for you and these opportunities for you, and especially when you learn that these opportunities will obviously grow your business, grow your audience, help you help more people, help you make more sales, reach another income level. Like that's all exciting, right? And you want to work on that stuff and you want to integrate it into your business. And that's when I think the feeling like a lot comes in, because you can see what could be happening if you do all the things, and, the dreams that you have could be realized if you do all these things, or at least that's what your brain is thinking as you're learning these things and realizing this. Your brain then makes that connection of, okay, if I do all of these things, then I will make the money, help the people, have the dream life, buy the dream car, like all these things, that we're kind of superficially thinking about, which is totally normal and fine and cool and great and awesome to do. But then you make that connection, the ego, I guess, makes that connection of, I got to do this to get that. And really what we'll all come to find out by the end of this is often the opposite is actually true. But it's hard to remember that in that moment, or in those moments when you're just finding out about more and more and more and more things you need to do to get to that level. So then after that retreat, I'm left thinking like, okay, I got to get on YouTube. I've been trying for like 10 years now. This is the time I'm finally going to do it. I got to be posting on TikTok 5 times a day, which sounds insane. Like that is insane, but that is honestly what a lot of people recommend if you are trying to make it, quote unquote, on TikTok, which is asinine if you ask me, but that's just me. And that is, but then here's my mind getting in the way, my ego getting in the way and thinking like, okay, well, I'm going to post 5 times on TikTok then per day. I'm going to post more on Instagram. I'm going to show up more on stories. I'm going to do all this stuff. So I'm going to do. That's what happened as I'm leaving this retreat. More and more and more things to do. And it didn't take long for me to realize that that was completely opposite of the business that I am building and what is important to me and how I want to show up in my business and my life. And so as I'm feeling that all the to-do list grows and my overwhelm grows, and then on top of everything else going on in the US and the world and just everything right now, it all just feels like a lot. Now for me, when I get to that point, because I've been there a lot, like I said, and now I know what that means, for me, that is a sign. And for you, it's probably a sign too. And when you feel that way, it is a form of resistance. So guess what happens when you try to push forward when you're up against resistance, when you're now going upstream? It doesn't go well. It's a lot harder. There's a lot more work. There's a lot more effort. You're like really, really pushing against the current to try to make any progress. Whereas if you just turn the boat back around and start going with the current again, get rid of that resistance, then you can flow along easily and effortlessly and just go with the flow. So feeling like everything is a lot is a sign that you have turned course and you have started going upstream again. And now that energy, that force, is what you're infusing into your work while you're in that place. So yeah, you may be doing a lot more because you're trying to check things off the to-do list. You're trying to be everywhere and everything to everyone all the time. And it's coming from this place of resistance. So then that is what you are infusing into your work. And when it comes from that place, obviously, that's like an energetic mismatch, right? It doesn't feel good. It feels like pressure. It feels like that I have to, like that force, that grind, that hustle. I'm supposed to, we get the shoulds, coulds, woulds, all that stuff going on. That is your cue, my friend, that you've turned course, you're going upstream. That is a form of resistance. You got us to take a step back. And when you are in this place where it's like, yeah, I know that this is what's happening. And also I'm trying to build a business here. I'm trying to make some money here. I can't step back. I can't take this time. I got to keep pushing because I need this business to work, or I need this money, or I need to make it to this next level. I need to get a client. Hey, that is even more upstream thoughts, feelings, emotions, right? I promise you, if you take a sec, you can turn that ship around and we can go downstream. We can get back into the flow. So how do we do that? How do we dig ourselves out of this place and take that sign for what it is and do something good with it? The first thing is that you need to accept it. Accept that that is how you're feeling. Accept that it is bringing you down. Accept that your mind isn't in a good place about things right now. Accept that you're trying to hustle and grind and push your way through something. Accept that all of this is just the reality of having an online business these days. Like I said at the very beginning, you are not alone. That is something that we all face at various points throughout our business. I can guarantee right now, the majority of people, again, we're talking specifically about business, and we'll talk even more specifically about online business, are feeling this way to some degree because there are just more and more and more things, places, platforms, social media apps to be on. And it's just gonna be that way. I can't imagine it's going to get any simpler as we progress here. I don't think we're going to go back to the times where it was just Facebook and posting ugly pictures on Instagram. I think we're only going to move forward, right? And when we do that, then that means there are going to be more and more and more opportunities, which is cool. And they are opportunities. They are not things that we have to do, that we have to get down about ourselves when we're not doing, and that are a must for your success. But how cool that we have these opportunities. And even just 10 years ago, when I started my business, like I said, we were Facebook and ugly pictures on Instagram. That was it. And blogs, basically. Podcasting got in real early, like 7.5 years ago now, but I was an early one. It was just like things expand and we have more opportunity. But that does not need to mean that it becomes heavy or hard or complicated. They are just opportunities. And you don't have to take every single one, especially when it doesn't feel good to you. So this whole first step of acceptance, as you will see if you're in this place now or when you get to this place in the future, which, like I said, will most likely happen, especially as we progress. When you accept it, it immediately softens it. Like it takes the edges off and just softens. And when you can do that, then you can actually allow it. Like you're allowing it, you're feeling it, you're accepting it. You're not mad, you're not sad, you're not frustrated. You're just accepting it and letting it be what it is and letting it be there. And it's like the energy shifts. It's not as potent, it's not as strong of a resistance. It's like you've gone now from going upstream to this, like on these rapids, to now being at a calmer part of the river where you're still going upstream, but it's calm. And so, yeah, you don't have to work as hard to make any progress. You're just sitting in it. And maybe you're just not even paddling anymore. You're just kind of sitting where you're at. So then after that, you need to remind yourself that this is temporary. It is just like everything else in life. It's a cycle. You're just in this moment. It's not going to last forever. It comes and goes. There are times when you're on top of the world and you can do all the things and you feel good about them all and you're having fun with them all and everything is just flowing and it feels great. And then, as you know, there are times when it doesn't feel good and it feels hard and it feels heavy and it feels like a challenge and like you're pushing against something. This is the case for everything in life, and your business and what you need to do for your business is no exceptions, and that is okay. So if you are at a time where you need a break, where you need to reset, then you're in that period. You are in that cycle where that is actually going to serve you to get into the next phase of your cycle. Seasons. There are seasons in business. There are seasons in life. There are seasons in the weather. Seasons. It's okay to have different seasons in your business. And the last thing, that third step, is really the most important. And this is where, like I said at the beginning, this actually becomes a really good thing for you and your business. Because the thing is, within that list of things that feel like a lot, there are most likely things that still feel good, that you still want to do. It's just that the good feeling got lost when they became part of this bigger to-do list of things that you don't actually want to do, that aren't in alignment with you and what feels good to you and aren't the opportunity for you. So can you sift those things back out and refocus yourself on what you really love? And this is where now we go from that boat being in the calmer part of the river, just kind of floating along, kind of staying stagnant, to going back down with the current, downstream, along with the flow. You barely even have to paddle or anything like that for you to get to where you want to go, because you are going with the flow. this is where it actually becomes a good thing, because sometimes we need that resistance. We need those times when we start going upstream to remember we want to be going the other direction. And the more and more and more things that get put onto your to-do list, again, specifically when it comes to business, it's just going to become more and more options for you, but they don't have to be absolute must-dos. When you get back to what you really truly want to do and love to do and feels good doing, that is when a lot can change, or will change, I guess I should say, for you and your business. So for example, from that place that I was in a few weeks ago after that retreat, I was able to take it back a few notches, recenter myself, refocus, and remember what I do love to do for my business. I love recording this podcast. I love, shockingly, recording short form videos. The thing is, I only love recording short form videos once a week. I give you a couple hours per week, and then I'm over it. I'm done, and I need like a break for a little while until the next week. It's so weird, because if I'm in like the middle of the week and I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to post today, I should do a video, and I just have so much resistance to it. I just don't want to do it. But if I'm doing the videos in my allotted time of the week that I do videos, I love it. It's super fun. And then bonus, I have my social media content done for the week. So I like doing that, and it makes posting on Instagram and TikTok easy and fun and not a big deal. Am I posting 5 times? Absolutely not. That is so against everything that I want to build and everything that I see in my future. Why would I do that now? That makes no sense to me. And I have a whole nother brewing episode in my mind right now all about my experience with TikTok. I got a lot of interest when I posted over on my social media if you wanted to hear about that. So that will probably be coming in the next few weeks. I'm still kind of gathering my thoughts and organizing them, but excited about that. But no, I'm not posting 5 times a day on TikTok. If I get a couple posts a week, cool. That's great. If whatever falls in that time that I am feeling good about recording videos, that is how many I do. And that's that. But yes, love the podcast and love my time spent here on the mic chatting with you guys. I love connecting with and messaging my clients and my future clients and those of you that I chat with over on the DMs of Instagram. These things all feel light and fun and easy and good to me right now. I can absolutely commit to doing these things without feeling like it's a lot or without feeling like I'm taking on too much. And because I'm focusing just on what I love, like that retreat and what came out of it for me was really that recentering and refocusing and putting myself back downstream that I needed. Because since then, I've really just been focusing on doing what I love and what feels good and just really, really committing to that only. And of course, my whole energy around these things has changed, and I'm infusing that now into the content that I am creating. And guess what? It is showing up now in my business and the audience that I'm attracting and the clients that I'm attracting. And so it's just proof that it's actually one of those cases where, you know, in a way it's like do less, but do it better. But instead it's like do less, but do it with flow, or do it because it's fun, or do it because it feels good. Do that and see what happens to your business, especially when you are in this place of feeling like you should be doing more, you're not doing enough, you need to be everywhere, and it all just feels like a lot. And don't be surprised as you focus and get back to those things that you feel good doing, that you really like to do, that maybe you do suddenly get this urge to start a YouTube channel or post a few TikToks or whatever it is, because that too much, quote unquote, energy is gone. You've transmuted it. It has turned into a higher vibration. and you are now excited about working on things in your business because you started with that place or from that place of the things you love, and then eventually it expands. And it's like, wow, I really have been loving posting Instagram reels. Now maybe I'll like to try some TikToks, and it still feels good. You don't feel like you're coming at it from this place of, I have to do this, or this is what I should be doing. And then it's like, ugh, no thanks, don't want to. And I guess too, what I want to remind you of is that, yeah, you do need to do some stuff to grow your business. You can't just, sit on your back porch with a website up and hope that people find you. You do have to show up. You do have to put yourself out there. You do have to share and help and educate. Absolutely. Do you need to do it everywhere? No, of course not. And is it helping anything or anyone when you get overwhelmed because you feel like you have to be everywhere? No, in fact, it's harming you and your business and those people that you want to help. Because then instead of just showing up in the places that you feel good about, you just like cut yourself off entirely. And then those you want to help are still out there looking for you, right? So take it back a notch. Do a few things really well. Do a few things and make them fun. Make them feel good. Less here is going to be more if it means that your mental and emotional health are in the tank. So start with a few things and then move forward from there when it feels good, not because you have to or you should or someone told you to or everyone else is doing it. And if you're feeling like everything feels like a lot right now, one more reminder, it is okay. It is normal. You're not alone. And there are ways to make it feel a little less heavy. All right, my friends, I will leave it at that for this episode. Just one quick thing I want to let y'all know. I finally changed over my Instagram handle for my business account to my actual name, Shawn Mynar. This for a long time, years and years and years, was the name of my personal account, which at one time was also my business account. I grew them kind of both together. And then when I started teaching this unstuck work and started teaching about business and that kind of thing, wanted to separate myself from that account, which was primarily nutrition and keto people that really didn't have that much interest in business and mindset and energy work. So started my new Instagram account not too long ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and have since been putting so much of my time and energy into that account that I felt like it was a good idea to make that my name because it is now my primary account. So if you head over there at Shawn Mynar on Instagram, send me a message, let me know if this message that I shared with you today resonated with you, if you feel like you can go through those 3 steps and get back to doing what you love. Let me know. It means so much to get some feedback from you all on what your takeaways are from this show because it helps me know what else to include in later episodes of the show. All right, friends, with that, until next time, take care. Hey friend, real quick before you go, don't forget to head over to my website and take the quiz to find out your solopreneur personality type. I've created a super fun, super informative 2-minute quiz that will show you which one of the 4 solopreneur personality types you fall into. Could it be the boss, the socialite, the visionary, or the supporter? Which one are you? Not only is it just fun to know more about yourself, especially as it relates to your business, but it's also really important information so you can be sure that you're building a business that works for you based on your energy, your personality, and your desires. Did you ever take those quizzes from the Cosmopolitan magazine back in the day? It's kind of like that, but with actual solid questions and real helpful tips and advice at the end. You can find the What's Your Solopreneur Personality Type quiz right on the homepage of my website at shawnmynar.com. Head there now to take the quiz, then let me know over on Instagram at UnstuckEntrepreneur what your type is. I'll see you over there.